To this day, there's still tractors that use Mercedes engines.
Ah, yes.
Hello everyone. Alright, so over here, right next to me, I have the Mercedes Unimog. It's right here, guys. Now, this is not the all-new Mercedes Unimog. In fact, this is quite an old Mercedes Unimog that has just been restored. And it's right here in the fire department of the town, right outside of Brussels, guys. I'm very, very happy to be checking this truck out. But let me just tell you all something about the Mercedes Unimog briefly. First of all, I'd like to talk to you all about the term Unimog. Unimog is actually an abbreviation for Universal Motorgerät. In German, that's supposed to basically mean equipment with multiple purpose. There's some truth behind this, and I'm going to tell you all a story about the Mercedes Unimog. In the early years of Mercedes, before the World Wars, Mercedes had projects in every field of the automotive industry. They were building cars, they were building trucks, they were even building tractors. Well, actually, I'm not sure if they played a big role in the tractor industry, but they kind of had a big role when it came to the engine aspects. Many tractors used Mercedes engines. In fact, to this day, there's still tractors that use Mercedes engines. Here that things get interesting, guys. It's not only before the World Wars. After the World Wars, Mercedes still stuck to their guns on making great diesel engines for utility purposes, guys. They continued to build engines for tractors. But then, somewhere along the line, Mercedes felt the need to do something about it. And so, you know what they did? They came up with a road legal tractor. A tractor that can basically drive on the road anywhere. We call this tractor the Mercedes Unimog, guys. Mercedes Unimog saw fame in the army as well, guys. Today, many military organizations around the world, NATO, United Nations, and many security organizations, guys, everywhere all over this world, they all count on the Mercedes Unimog. When it comes to 4x4s, the Toyota Land Cruiser dominates the choices. When it comes to armored cars, it's the Mercedes S-Class. When it comes to armored trucks or military trucks for logistic purposes, this bad boy is the #1 choice. Hey everyone, so we're just gonna listen to the sound of this bad boy, the Mercedes Unimog.
Ah, yes.
Alright guys, so over here is the 1991 Mercedes Unimog. Oh yes everyone, look at this. Now I have to remind you all something, that this Mercedes Unimog has been fully restored. So it looks flashy new and everything, but as you look at some parts, there are some parts that remain old. In fact, something about this, the side view, if you study it carefully, this particular bodywork kind of reminds me of something Hanomag used to do. You see where I'm coming at, guys? I'm not sure what they had going on. Was it an alliance? Was it a merge? Or was it more like Hanomag basically went bankrupt and they sold their technology to Mercedes? A lot of bodyworks that came from Hanomag. And so if you look at Hanomag vans, you'll notice they have a very similar side profile, a very similar side design. Because I'm telling you guys right now, when I see this side, first thing that comes to my mind is Hanomag. It has to be. Yes, everyone, this is the wheel of this bad boy. I mean, look at this, guys. You get actual off-road tires. Wow, it's like a tractor, and you can literally see underneath. Oh, something interesting is going on. Oh, okay. Guys, do you see something there? That's a shaft. That shaft is sending power to a transformer right here. Let me see underneath. Okay, basically there's something that's giving power to all four wheels. So the shaft gives power there, and something over there gives power back to the back wheels and to the front wheels as well. So it's a very interesting system I'm seeing right here, guys. This is the Unimog in action, guys. It being used by the fire department. This is all the equipment, all the tools. So it's yeah, it's very good. I mean, very well equipped, fully restored. These pipes are new, everything is restored. Prominent sign of identity, guys, would be those headlights. Those headlights have been with Mercedes all the time. They've been with Mercedes since the very beginning. In fact, it's very identifiable. Mercedes has always done those sort of headlights for their trucks as well. It's time to explore the interior, but before doing so, I want to point out something very groundbreaking, guys. And this is something that brought a lot of memories back. Listen to this. Oh my god, the sound of this door. Sounds like my childhood, guys. I remember as a kid, my parents, they raised me with a Mercedes Sprinter from the early 2000s, and it had the exact same sound. It had the exact same sound like this. Like literally, guys. Literally. This is a very prominent Mercedes thing. They always had metallic door sounds that would sound very solid and well built and just, you know, like ready to beat the task that's ahead, guys. Alright, guys. So this is the interior of the Mercedes Unimog. Looks like a tractor. Like literally. Wow. Like no wonder the military and the agriculture world loved the Mercedes Unimog. Alright, guys, this is the first time I've ever seen an 8-speed manual. I mean, wow. I've never seen this. I've seen maximum 6-speed, guys, but 8-speed? Wow. And another strong sign of identity is the design of this gear stick. This is something that my parents used to also have in their Mercedes Sprinter. It had the exact similar design gear stick. It looked exactly like this, like literally, it looked exactly like this. And then those are controls, I believe, for the fire department, which has been installed. Like some of the parts in here are custom, but you see a lot of standard parts, like wow, a lot of factory installed. Now I can definitely confirm this is not meant for comfort, guys, although it would be very comfortable when it comes to suspension, because my foot at the left is obstructed by this elevation, so I have to constantly put my foot underneath, and this is to use the clutch, whereas the foot at the right is very comfortable, guys, but yeah, it's just my left foot is... I don't think this is Mercedes installed, but whoever installed this, it looks amazing, guys. I mean, look at this. You get the inclination meter, so basically it tells you if the van is at the risk of, if the Unimog is at the risk of rolling over or not. Very, very good. The Unimog has a very interesting door handle, and it's something I've seen in many cars of the 1980s and even the 70s. I know the Citroen SM had something similar like this, and even the Citroen CX had this. I'm surprised Mercedes has this with the Unimog. Apparently the door handle is like this, guys. Okay, wow. That's like the first time I've ever seen a door handle like that. Like literally. Like this. That's so interesting. I mean, this is the interior cabin, guys. The whole interior of the Unimog. Yep, looks very 90s-ish. If anything, the interior of this Mercedes Unimog has been very interesting, amazing, but at the same time, it reminds me very much of the Mercedes T1. The Mercedes T1 is the van that was released before Mercedes released the Mercedes Sprinter. The Mercedes Sprinter is the van we know today, famous in the logistic business. In fact, it dominates the logistic business here in Europe. But before the Sprinter existed, we had the T1. And before the T1 existed, it was from Hanomag. So I have a really strong feeling that a lot of things in the interior had this Hanomag vibe about it. Hanomag was a German car manufacturer. Well, I'm not sure they built cars, but they specialized in light utility trucks, light utility vehicles. Prominent sign of identity, I believe, would be this particular gauge right here. I noticed Mercedes trucks, they like to have the same gauge all the time. They have always this sort of gauge. I even saw something similar like this in the Mercedes Vario. They always had similar displays like this, similar instrument clusters. Alright guys, let's just take one last look at the side of the Mercedes Unimog and just admire it for what it is. Yes. Wow. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. A true off-roader, and according to the fire department, they use this Mercedes Unimog when there's incidents in the forest or in the fields, or when there's floodings or something. Alright guys, so here's my conclusion of the Mercedes Unimog, guys. The Mercedes Unimog today is one of the most reputed 4x4s of all times. Light utility 4x4s. In fact, the Mercedes Unimog was not really meant just for off-roading. It was meant for utility purposes, unlike the G-Wagon and other 4x4s which we know of today. When it comes to the actual purpose of the Unimog, they specialize mainly in the military and in agriculture. When I was driving to Germany, I actually saw one on my way in Germany. It was being used to trim the grass that was on the side of the road, of the highway, of the Autobahn. So it was an orange one, by the way. So it was very interesting the way they were using the Unimog. But it's very creative because that Unimog is needed for roadside maintenance purposes. Something worth mentioning about the Unimog, guys, is that yes, it was a very promising truck of today's generation. In fact, it has been one of the most influential trucks in the automotive industry, guys. But then there's also some things we have to face, some realities, guys. The Mercedes Unimog is an old school 4x4, and the new version Unimog is learning that now it's the time we have to adapt to something electric. We're going to have to respect the environmental initiatives that have been taken by Europe. Does this Unimog have what it takes? Well, we will find out in the coming years, guys. My opinion of the Mercedes Unimog. Oh, I love it! I love the Mercedes Unimog, guys. I really, really do. But I'm going to make a confession to you all. When it comes to 4x4s, I have a lot of respect for the Japanese because they build 4x4s that are very reliable. When it comes to Mercedes cars and trucks are very reliable. They are one of the best quality in the automotive industry. But they require maintenance. If they don't get that maintenance, they fall apart catastrophically. There's one saving grace about this particular Unimog. This particular Unimog is from the 90s, and therefore it's an old one. The old Mercedes Unimogs last a lifetime. We need to respect environmental initiatives. We need to respect practicality and value for money plus reliability. But we also need to respect desirability, guys. Cars of today have to be interesting. We need to look back in the past when it comes to design and look at beauties like this when we design our cars of today and the cars of the future. Because we never know. Something like this can be very useful in the future. Right, everyone, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. And don't forget to check the links in the description for my car reviews and my travel videos. Bye!